This is the Argon News Network, where today we're going Ying Tong Idle I Po. Hello Argonellas and Argonolians, this is Loserbam back on your screen with some single take, unedited, low quality Argon 8-bit retro content. And we dive straight into it with some breaking news. They are breaking the news. Yay, we've got a new one. Finally, after a fair amount of while, Dean Belfield, aka Break Into Program, has released the official new firmware. We are on version 1.04 final, released just 2 days ago. One of the motivations to make this video, to bring this news for you. And stuff has changed. I've got it deployed on the device. We'll see it in a moment. It works. Some thanks, obviously, to Dean and all the contributors, Nihirash, Lay, Tom, Envenomator, all the usual suspects. So it's the Argon MOS. You have a new VDP version as well. And I actually had to go back to my instructions from multiple months ago to flash this, but it worked, right? Both of the upgrade work, so good stuff there. And the community is keeping abreast of events, so happy to see that. Now, there is one small piece of not so good news associated with this. With the pressure of putting this release out, it seems that our friend Dean may have actually blown a fuse, had a slight stroke, because he is now tweeting in French. Thoughts and prayers to his family. I think a neurological major damage to one of the main contributors of the community is a small price to pay for a new version of the VDP and MOS. We love you, Dean. One of the people who was submitting a submitter to this release is Envenomator, Jerome Venema, and we've got a little Facebook video from him here, which I thought was quite interesting. What he's got there is one of these widgets. This is the Olimex Nunchuck controller, which plugs into the UX, and he's gotten it working in C at least with the Argon. That's the first time I've seen this device working with an Argon, and as you can see, mine's even still got the plastic on it because I haven't used it yet. It's compatible with other Olimex products, but yeah, haven't gotten around to that. So yay, we got joystick stuff. And on the topic of joysticks and firmware in general, in the Facebook and elsewhere, people have been saying, oh, there's so many different versions of the VDP and MOS. There's also different joysticks, right? You've got this one, you've got the one which goes via GPIO, and you've got those 9-pin ones which are now with the console 8. And people are like, oh my god, what am I going to develop for? Which version? It's horrible. So I do emphasize, I was completely not taking the piss about you there. I have a piece of advice here for the community, which is very, very simple. Follow the console 8. Whatever firmware, MOS, VDP, joystick technology, the console 8 is going for, if you want to develop stuff, especially games, just follow that. It's welcome to capitalism. Wonderful system, right? It's like that is a sort of commercial venture. It's not a bunch of well-intentioned amateurs like the rest of the Argon community. And that just got more legs, right? I believe there's a 2.0 console 8 MOS out there. Well, work on that and then worry about backwards compatibility later. Same for the joysticks, same for that kind of thing. You heard it here first. My advice, take it or leave it. And, you know, it's a nice problem to have that we have so much variation in the system. So, next, game review time on the Argon Lite, which also means I need to switch over to the other thing. And there we are. What have we got on game review? Let me get out of this basic first. The first one isn't really a game. It's a demo, but we do have to put it out there. All of the links, by the way, will be in the description below, so you can try this in the safety and comfort of your own home. So, elite.bin, run. You've seen it on Facebook or on YouTube, maybe. Good Lord. This has changed. Yeah, look at that. Look, Elite. Somebody's done a demo of Elite. It's the loading screen. And yeah, you can run it. And I want to say that looks pretty nifty. In fact, before I updated the VDP today, this was more flickery. And I think you can agree that looks quite nice. Now, will that turn into a fully fledged game? I don't care. It warms the cockles of my heart to see this on my own device. So quite happy with that. I can't remember the name of the developer right now. They've done a bit of brute force stuff in terms of making this work. Let's see what else have we got. What else have I got over here? Let me check my notes. So we definitely have the Elite next one out there. And in fact, just for 1 second, allow me to switch back to the thing. Yep, here we have the Elite code by Christian Pinder. Sorry, Christian, for getting the name. Next one down here is James7780. Hi, James7780, who has released a thing called SpaceBird. Also, it's in C, so just like the other one, so directly compiling to binaries. What I do want to note out here, I love James. He does these like Honey Badger, doesn't give a damn. Instead of using the release function of GitHub, he's actually put the bin in a release folder in the repository, which I thought was kind of at least worthy of a sarcastic comment. So let's get back in there and look what SpaceBird brings to the table. So up out there. Get out the basic, load spacebirds.bin, run. I said run. Yeah. Oh, it's because of the new VDP. I guess it's now running a little bit small. I guess we're looking for an update. But it works with a keyboard. Okay, all right. Yeah, and people who recognize this, it's inspired by Phoenix. Phoenix is an old school arcade game from the very early 80s. One of the very first I played. You don't want to know how much of my pocket money I sank into that one because it was the only one available in the local bar. So that's what I played, and Phoenix is actually quite hard. It's playable. The version on the previous VDP was full screen and it had color, but you hear the sound, and the keyboard is quite responsive. That's what happens when you see. Ooh, you can get the extra. It's very close to Phoenix. So good game there, well done. And gonna reset on that. So really like that one. Next, let me just make sure I'm not doing. Oh yeah, next one is from a gentleman who goes by the name of on the GitHub goes by the name of ToneDeaf71, same age as me, looks like. So let's go have a look what he's doing. There we are. And what he has done, hang on, sorry, I'm going back and forth a bit here. What Mr. Tonedeaf has done has ported a bunch of very old basic programs, really old ones, to the Argon. And in case you hadn't noticed, the entire hardware and my channel is very much about nostalgia. Boy, have we got some nostalgia for you right now. So let's dive in and let's see what I'm talking about. So, Snoopy, right? Let's see if this works. Does chain still work in the new? This is, by the way, the new BBC Basic 1.06, which seems to be working for me. Not chain. Chain.snoopy.bbc. Right, all this program does is draw a Snoopy on the screen, right, who is kicking a ball. People who are as old as me will remember the very first computers. That's what you did. You did a bunch of print statement and you did some so-called ASCII art. Let me see if we can find a better mode for this. Mode 6. No, that's going to be in Word. Mode 1. Run. But he changes the mode. So what's happened in the new BBC Basic or the new VDP, the modes have changed again, so the resolutions aren't the same. But hey, graphics art, Snoopy. Literally, the first computer with a keyboard that I ever touched was in school. It was a mainframe, none of this fancy PC stuff. And in my case, it wasn't a Snoopy, but it was a Lucky Luke. It was like, ooh, my God, there is a picture on the screen, even if it's made from characters. So happy to see Snoopy on here. What else is there in Tone Dev's things? There is a lander. I do have to do this one. Chain lander. So this is hyper classical. This is the lunar landing. This existed for like the very first programmable calculators, which still had LED displays, right? So you are worked, and this was at the time of the moon landings. That's why it was relevant. So you control a spaceship. You're 500 feet from the ground. You're falling at 50 feet per second. Bloody imperial measures. You have a 120 fuel, and all you do is type in a number, and that's how much fuel you're going to burn. So I'm burning 20 fuel, which has slowed my speed from 50 to 30, but because there's gravity, I'm actually falling at 35. If I don't burn, then I will accelerate again, and the idea is to get near to the ground without dying. So here I'm going to allow it to fall a little bit faster. I've only got 80 fuel left, so I've got to be a bit careful. Okay, let's try 40. My speed is now 30. I'm 100 feet from the ground, and I'm going to go 10, 10, 10. Touchdown at 14 seconds. Landing velocity 20 feet per second or 11 mile per hour. Ouch, that hurt the lander, right? So you're going too fast. And later on, the very first Apple II I ever saw, there was a graphics version of this. So yeah, lunar lander. We are going back well over 40 years looking at this kind of program. So again, nostalgia all the way. What else do we have in here? There was at least one more, which I'm not going to play in detail. It's the Wumpus, right? So chain Wumpus. This is Hunt the Wumpus, where you are in a room and you type. Every room has 3 exits to other rooms, and you can shoot your arrow into a neighboring room or you can move. So I'm going to move, and I'm going to move into room 15. Then I'm going to move into room 14. Move 14. You can smell a Wumpus. So the Wumpus is one of the neighboring rooms. I came from 15, so I'm going to try to shoot the Wumpus, assuming that he's going to be in room number 4. Yep. 4. 13, 15, 4. I missed the Wumpus. Anyway, I don't know the game. Hunt the Wumpus is something which people were playing on actual mainframes, maybe even with text, little paper terminals interacting with things. So nostalgia all the way. Thanks to Tone Deaf for bringing this. There's a couple of others in the collection there, which I'm not going to get into right now. What else do we have? Hang on, there's 2. We'll start with Pizza Dash. So I wonder, does chain work with bash? Come on, Baz files. Pizza dash dot baz. I will link. I can't remember who this one is from, and you can see just from the loading. Well, if you load Baz files because they're non-tokenized, the load files are longer. But you can see this is a beast of a program just simply from the loading files. And there we go. Pizza dash, same thing. The graphics are broken because I've done the VDP update. Price to pay. Small price to pay. Oh, I'm sorry. It looks like okay. I should. Oh no. Okay, we have some sort of car. Yeah. So doesn't look right. So the VDP upgrade has indeed broken this particular. It's a sort of racing game. Where you go up and down with your little car, and there it is, and you can jump over things. So I'm jumping over that and whatever. So it looked much better in color and everything in the other one. Maybe I'll link to a video below. It looks like, yep, this new VDP has broken quite a number of things, but hey, that's life. I'm not planning to downgrade just to do those particular demos. But yeah, more games, more software heading our way. Last one, let's see if this one works. Chain Pitman.bbc. This one works. Okay, Pitman, arrow keys, and that's it. So I want to call this a combination of it's a bit sort of load runnerish. Boulder Dash, which we already have, and because of the ladders, it just reminds me of Load Runner and a touch of Sokoban. So I'm trying to collect all the gold. To collect all the gold, I have to go places, and I just realized, and I can't. I'm lost in this hole. If you get stuck, press R to retry. So actually what I need to do is go up here. It's more like Zokoban, but Zokoban with gravity and ladders. So interesting, right? So I use that hole to push that, and I want to get to the gold over here, but I cannot. So you can realize I didn't play this game before the thing. So I'm going there. Now that's going to drop. That allows me to fill that hole. That allows me to push that over here. That allows me to push that over here. And yay! I have solved the problems. Next one. Yeah, I'm not going to play the whole game for you, but hey, Pitman, for some strange reason, I guess it uses one of the lower modes, which work better, and I wouldn't be surprised if I would be able to fix these games simply by changing a mode command at the start of the basic listing, and it's simply because as the BBC Basic and the VDP changes, the same mode number now refers to a different video mode. I'm not going to try that live for you right now, but that's the situation. So yay, let's go back. What else have we got? I think we're almost at the end. Yep, we've got tone deaf stuff. Oh yes, the last news. We got the last SpaceBirds tone deaf's basic programs, and I don't know who did the Pitman. Oh, actually, I do know who did the Pitman. It's the same gentleman, Christian Pinder, who also did Elite. That's where that Pitman came from. So I'm gonna end it, but now I have a call for the community. I got contacted via Discord by a nice young lady, Harvey from PCB Way. If you know PCB Way, it's a company. I guess it's somewhere in China. You can send your PCB designs, software files there, and they will print them for you in whatever quality. Send them back, and then you can make your own circuit boards. I don't even know. Maybe one of Bernardo's early computers was done like that. So full disclosure, I get nothing from them at this time, but I do want to say that I have seen PCB Way supporting or sponsoring a number of retro and other techno fiddling channels that I like. So I was kind of chuffed that Harvey reached out to me and said, hey, we noticed some of your YouTube electronics and wonder if that says any upcoming video that can use our services, printed circuit board, 3D printing, or CNC. Offer the services for free as long as they are within the budget. So they're not sponsoring by actually giving me money, but I could send them a design and they would send me a thing and I would say, hey, PCB Way allowed me to do this. Now, I'm a media guy. I'm more of a software guy. I've never designed a circuit board in my life, and I'm not actually very good with breadboards, and my soldering has actually been termed a war crime by the International Criminal Court in The Hague, and CNC is even further away. So I'm going to throw this out to the community. Do you think there's something I could do here? It seems, the easy thing is to do a loser bum branded 3D printed case for the Argon Light or the Argon Light 2, but there's plenty of cases around. That seems a bit cheap. But maybe a very simple single-sided PCB which allows you to plug into a GPIO on an older Argon Light and have those two joystick ports like the Console 8, so that you have hardware compatibility to the more commercial one. If any ideas, hit me up in the Discord, hit me up in the YouTube comments, hit me up on Mastodon. Would love to hear it. And by the way, if you do that, you are volunteering to do the circuit board design, because I know that software exists to do this, but I'm not sure if I have the time or I'm competent enough to design that. So that's it for today. Remember to check out the loserbum.com, hit me up on the old Mastodon, follow me there. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Remember to tell your friends to like, share, and subscribe. I'm Loserbum. No, you're the internet. I'm Loserbum. You are all a bunch of 8-bit loving Argonian legends, and I am out of here.